What up, YouTube? It's Dub, obviously. First off, go like the last video we posted. We're gonna post and drop another recap video, just like the behind the scenes footage of what happens during the playoffs and like our finals run. Obviously, it's been a super long time since I've like sat here and like talked in front of the camera, but what I want to address, I don't know when we'll drop this video, but it'd be pretty recent. So basically what has happened since last time I like really posted was, what was it, since All-Star maybe, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically we won a championship. Yay, crowd noise. But we won a championship. What I wanted to get on here to address and what the video is about is obviously my hand. And just like my wrist and like playing with it just throughout the playoffs. So I kind of want to just get right into it and keep this video kind of quick. Recently, as of this week, Sam came out and finally like talked about how like I tore my, I'm going to put what I tore in the video so you guys can like see it, and I'll put like a description so you guys can read a little bit about it. But I tore, it's like the scapholunate ligament in my wrist, which gives you like mobility to go down, up, and side to side. Essentially, I tore that one completely. I tore it April 9th, I believe, when we played the Suns. I tore it actually during the game, like the start of the third quarter. So what happened was me and D-Book had a jump ball, and you know how like you like wrestle for the ball and like nobody really wants to like give the ball up. So that's basically what happened. I just remember like pulling my hand out of the mix. It was like a couple people involved in the jump ball. I remember pulling my hand out the mix, bro, and like I kind of like heard like almost like a paper ripping noise or like a air like kind of noise, like a switch. And I'm like looking around a little bit, and then my hand is just on fire. Like the whole top of my wrist is on fire. Now, if I backtrack a little bit, I think what like caused it to kind of just give out was I had been dealing with a wrist sprain already throughout the like majority of the season. So it was very annoying that like I finally had gotten to a point before that where I was shooting better and like it didn't hurt, and I had gotten used to the pain and the sprain was getting better, to tearing it completely. So that was a lot. Obviously I finished that game. I remember it was burning, and then I think I took like some ibuprofen during the game and I was good after. Like I didn't really feel it. Obviously in Arizona, like my family and friends are here, so I didn't really think about it too much. I went to the hotel after we had like team dinner, went out with my family. I get to the hotel and like halfway through the night my hand like swelled up like crazy. Like my fingers are fat, like my whole wrist is swollen. I couldn't flex my hand up or down, sideways. Like it's the worst it's ever been. We get an MRI the next day after I fly back. My hand's still in pain, can't really move it. Worst it's ever felt. Get my MRI results back like 2 days later. They're like, you tore it. And this is around the time when the season had just ended, so we have a week off. So to describe this like week and a half that we got off, it was, I think we got 9 days off and we got a little more time because the season ended and then we got those 9 days. So, or like 7 days or whatever. So we ended up getting like 10 days, 10 days off, whatever the case may be. They were telling me, and I don't want to make this like a Kobe thing or just like, but that was one of the people that they had brought up that had done it before and played through it. So they were saying it was doable. But just throughout the week, I was working on shooting in a way, I basically changed my jump shot from that week up until then to like shoot in a way that like required touch and like only use my fingertips so I didn't have to follow through all the time. I basically did that for like 6 days, and then we came up with a solution to start doing like, I think I got a cortisone shot and then I got a lidocaine shot, and I started practicing with those two. And you guys will see in the video, I'm gonna have JoJo do like a little like time lapse when I get back to it, but I was getting lidocaine shots before every single game that we played in the playoffs, and sometimes during the week when we had multiple days off, so I could still work on my jump shot. So I get all these shots, I get that cortisone injection and the lidocaine shot, and I like work out with it a couple times during that week to get ready for the Memphis series. We're trying all different types of tape. I'm coming in after practice even more with different tape, and you know, we're trying different adjustments to see how I can dribble without having to flex my hand down and just like all this stuff. So first, shout out to the medical team, the people over across the street that helped with my whole entire thing, all the doctors that gave me my shots, Donnie, Toby, I'm blanking on the other doctor's name right now, but just like our medical staff, the doctors over there just did a tremendous job throughout the whole entire playoffs helping me out. But yeah, back on track to that. We end up playing the Memphis series. My hand actually does pretty well. Like I said, I'm getting the lidocaine shots before every game. The good thing about the Memphis series was that we only had a day in between each time. I didn't have to worry about like my hand getting really stiff afterwards or like that sort of thing. So we went through the process of playing Memphis. I would say for Memphis, the game that hurt the most was, I would say probably like after game 3, my wrist was in a bad spot and I had to get another injection of, I think, cortisone. And that like took away the swelling. I don't know how to explain it, but like the swelling would go into the outsides of my hand and it'll make it really hard to go left and right too. And then obviously the state of the tear that I had going all the way down and up was bad. And if you know, like from shooting, like setting the ball under your hand is like a really important part of shooting. So like I said, I changed my jump shot around to like do a lot of things. So like catch and shooting was really hard because you just can't set your hand to be ready for it. And it's like I had to like slide my hand under and like get the ball prepped, so my jumper was a little slower. My release point was different. Everything was like revolved around like my fingertips and like really jumping on a lot of my jump shot to like not have to flex my fingers all the way down. And so like the more the series went on, like the more practice I just had with like shooting it in live game reps. Obviously the taping that I was doing, that, you know, there will be pictures in this video as well that you can kind of see. Like we did different types of tape almost every game until something worked. We finished the Memphis series. We get a little more time off. We played game 1 with Denver. I'm doing the same thing, the shot, like the lidocaine shots before every game. And then the Denver series was a little interesting. And this is not sit here and make excuses for like not shooting well or whatever the case may be, but the Denver series was interesting because obviously we played more games. So just over time, like my hand's gonna get worse. And that was something we knew going into it. Problem with the Denver series was trying to figure out a good time to start the lidocaine shots. What was happening in Memphis was I would get bumped or have to stop somebody, or like, you know, just like regular basketball stuff was like speeding up the lidocaine not working anymore. So I would go into like finishing the games where my hand would be like basically done for, and it wasn't like numb anymore. Like lidocaine is too numb, and like, so when I can flick my wrist down, I wouldn't feel anything. So we were running into that issue. So Denver series, actually what made it my hand the worst it was, and it was swollen for like, it was swollen for a good amount of the Denver series. Like we couldn't really get the swelling down, and obviously you can't keep getting the cortisone shot. So we started pushing my lidocaine shot to like 10 minutes before the game. And that way, like to start the game, it wouldn't, like my wrist would be hurting, and then like halfway through the game, it would start to kick in more and more. And then that way it could last the rest of the game. Now there's a play, I'm gonna try and have JoJo find the clip with me and Aaron Gordon. He drives the ball and we get caught up in a jump ball. He snatches, you know, the ball really quick while I'm still holding on to it. Obviously my pride, I'm not trying to let go of the ball. And basically the same thing that happened with Devin Booker happened again, like that same pull motion. And that kind of messed my hand up until game 7. So from like game 4 till like game 7, my hand was completely jacked up. And even game 7, my hand was pretty bad, but we had taped and done, like we got an extra 2 days in between that 6 and 7, so we were able to like damage control a little bit. But when you're playing every other day, it was just too hard to really manage my hand. So a lot of the games I was just going through like not thinking about my hand and just playing with the lidocaine shots and like hoping that they last the whole entire game. So that was those 2 series. Honestly, Minnesota, we had a really good routine, really good tape, and we just knew what we were doing. So the lidocaine did a good job. And we were just able to like get through that whole series. Like I didn't have any hiccups. I didn't fall weird. I didn't jam my hand. Just got lucky with that series. Again, like I said, over time, my hand was really like, it just progressively got worse, but I started to get more and more used to it just with the reps, how I wanted to shoot, time off. I just figured out a good routine and how to like keep my hand alive. Am I rambling? No, right? How long have I been going for? Like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
So last thing I'll say, Indiana series. Again, my hand was pretty good. I didn't really have any complaints about my hand. I know everybody was worried about the hard fall I took in like game 4, but those 2 didn't really affect me. I had a pretty good series. I mean, I didn't shoot the way I wanted to throughout any series, which was a little disappointing just because it's like all the work that I did up until the summer and like how well I shot the ball during the season kind of went out the window just because my dominant hand was just not what it was. And like I'll have some videos, like you can see the sheer amount of times that I had to get injections like in my wrist. Like it was like this big black callus on my wrist, and I didn't want the media to know that I was dealing with stuff because I didn't want other teams to know that my hand was jacked up and they like slap at it or try and hurt me or, you know, just do that whole thing. And then I think also like when you're playing in the playoffs, like for the most part, everybody's hurt. And I just didn't want that to be an excuse on my performance or like something to like detour me from the end goal. Honestly, in a way, everybody's kind of like lucky that Sam even brought it up because I was just gonna have surgery and not really say anything. As bad as I wanted to like shut people up after we won and like post all this stuff about my wrists, I also kind of like lost the urge to do it because we had won a championship. So it was like in my head, I didn't really care anymore. So that's where I was going with my wrist thing. I didn't want that to be a distraction or something stopping me from being as great as I can be. So I didn't really think to say anything. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot of nights I didn't sleep because when the lidocaine wore off, like my hand was just in such a state of like pain and it was hard to like dull it. So I wasn't sleeping a lot just because it was hard to sleep. I couldn't lay the way I wanted to. I had to wear a brace around like when I was asleep too, so like it kept my hand from like moving. Just like a lot of stuff that like you don't like everyday stuff, like picking stuff up was really hard. A lot of like little stuff that you don't think about. And then obviously like when you go out places, like people are shaking your hand really hard and like it's just like a bunch of like stuff I didn't think about was like messing my hand up. The fact that I was able to win a championship with my team was really cool, and obviously it means the hand didn't become an excuse. That's really it though. I just had surgery. I'll be in this for like another couple days, maybe like 5 days, and then I get another type of like hard cast. And you guys will see like the progression of my workouts and just what I'm able to do. And you know, we'll get back after next season, but I'll be able to put a ring on my cast hand and do that. I'm trying to think if I missed anything, bro. I don't think I did.
I don't think so. You did Grizzly series, like the first night going into it.
Yeah, like just yeah. Okay. I mean, there's really not really a lot to say. I mean, everybody. The only thing that actually bothered me, the only thing that bothered me the whole entire thing was like when I didn't shoot well. It was so annoying because like some of it was just out of my control, and it was like, you know, I'm trying literally the best I could to shoot with like. It wasn't like my left hand was the one that was jacked up. You know what I mean? It's like my main hand of like being effective was just not the same. Like my jump shot felt different. And that was the only part that I think I struggled with early on because I didn't want to tell the world that I was hurt. And so the world just kind of like ganged up on me about how I wasn't ready to like handle the moment, which obviously is wrong now. But that was the most annoying thing because you like human nature, you want to like scream that you're hurt. And I think I was able to like lock in and like not use that as an excuse and just play the series. And like I said, we won a championship. So you can say whatever you want to say now. I will be getting my ring size here shortly. And that is what it is. I think that's really it though. I just wanted to get on here and address that so people don't have any questions.
You dropped 40 in the finals. What stopped you from saying anything you wanted to say after you did that?
Oh, after I had 40?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I wanted to really talk crazy. But honestly, and I've talked to JoJo about this, like honestly, I was so locked in to the finals and like especially the last two series that like outside noise was just not a thing. Like the Denver series made me grow up as a player because I was playing through, like Denver series by far like the most painful series I had. Like I got my hand stepped on. I already talked about the Aaron Gordon play. I took a weird fall and tried to brace. So I was messing my hand up that whole series. And I was playing like Aaron Gordon and guarding Jokic, and I'm guarding these guys where it's like physical and I'm like constantly banging my hand. So that one made me grow up as a player and just as honestly like a man. Like I just had to man through a lot of the pain that I was experiencing. So when I got to have the 40, it was more like forget the 40, win the games and win a championship. Like do the goal. Like I got 28 or 29 shots in my hand throughout the playoffs. And I just was like, that can't be for nothing. Like we have to win. So that was my mentality. So like after the 40, it kind of sucks. And I've talked about it a little bit, but like I didn't even really get to enjoy it because I was just so focused on like, let's win the next game or let's win however we need to win in 7. Cause like, there's just no way I get all these shots and we lose. That was my thought process throughout the whole thing. So hopefully that answers any other questions with it. We're going to do a Q&A later in the summer. Later in the week, later whenever, and answer a lot of questions. You guys sent so many questions that we have to like really like filter through them.
1,250.
Yeah, 1,250 questions, and we stopped. Oh, I knocked it.
Yeah,
and we stopped the questions early. Like we didn't even keep it up there that long. So we gotta go through that and make sure everybody's questions somewhat heard and do that. But that hits on my wrist. That's it. I really don't want to talk about it anymore because it's over. I'm a champion forever. So. How that tastes.
Hey. Stick.